Hey there, it's Kevin Ward with Yes Masters Real Estate Success Training, and I wanted to respond to one of my coaching members had a great question, actually several questions here, but I'm going to answer a couple of them here on this email or on this video. It says, what happens if you call a FSBO, a for sale by owner, and it turns out they were already on the MLS with a limited service agent discount broker? Do you hang up and wait for them to expire? Sometimes I've seen a listing like this and they end up withdrawn and relisted the same day with a full service agent. Well, this is a great question and a little bit of a dilemma, because typically in most areas, to be on the MLS, the only person that can put somebody on the MLS is somebody who is an active realtor, an active member of the local association of realtors. So it has to be a real estate agent, and they also are not allowed to do it unless they have a signed listing agreement. So by definition, you have to just check with your broker and with the local code there. Can you solicit that listing if it's a limited service, a flat fee listing, or whatever? And if they're in an exclusive agency or an exclusive right to sell, then you cannot, by law, you cannot solicit that listing. So all you can do is basically back off and watch the MLS very carefully. And then sometimes they come up as a withdrawn and relisted the same day with a full service agent? Yeah, they can. And so do agents ever break the rules? Yes, they do that. Does that legitimize you doing it? Not if you're ethical about it. So you've got to you just let them know, hey, best wishes. If anything happens, if I can help with anything, let me know. But you got to be very careful about soliciting. Now, the good news is that if they're a flat fee broker and that's all they're doing, typically they've already got their money because they got paid up front, so they really don't care if they cancel it and go list with you or whatever. They don't care because they already got their money, which is something you should always talk to when you talk to a for sale by owner and they're considering listing their home with a flat fee broker. That's one of the things to talk about or ask about, is say, so are you paying them all the money up front? Wow, okay, because they want to, and then you always want to do this in the listing presentation, but you want to say, great, so if I could help you get the property sold and get as good or better result than the flat fee listing broker, including the amount of money in your pocket, would you be willing to sit down and talk about it? And then when you're sitting down and talking to them in the listing appointment, just say, here's one of the things that we run into a lot, and many of the for sale by owners that I've worked with that were previously listed with flat fee brokers or with for sale by owner services. Problem is they get paid up front, and what is that agent's incentive to do anything once they've already been paid? And obviously the incentive is nothing. And the seller, the for sale by owner, will often say, well, if they bring a buyer, then they'll get the full buyer's commission. I understand that, but you got to understand in real estate, that's not how it works most of the time, because in reality it's probably less than 10% chance that they're going to sell the listing themselves, because they're making their money off you paying them a flat fee. There's not enough money for them to really invest in marketing and spend a lot of time with it and so forth, because they got to run a high volume of listings to make any money on a flat fee program like that. So you just have to pay close attention to what happens on the MLS. But I would ask them, did you sign? So here's the question to ask them: did you sign a listing agreement or some type of agreement with them? And if they did, and they're on the MLS, and it's probably an exclusive agency agreement or an exclusive right to sell agreement, and in either case, most of the time you're not going to be in a position legally or ethically where you can solicit that listing or ask to really pursue them to get the listing. So just be aware, pay attention. If they're on your drip campaign, on an email automated newsletter and market, you can continue to do that because it's not soliciting, and you have the little disclaimer that if you're currently listed with an agent, this is not a solicitation. So that's always, first time you connect with a for sale by owner, first time you connect with an expired and you get their contact information, you should immediately put them into your personal circle system, which means they're getting from you your market updates, your featured listings of the month. So you're automatically getting in front of them, and even if they were to then work with somebody else, you're still popping up on their radar at least twice a month, whether they're listed or not. And that's totally legal and totally ethical. So I hope that helps on that one. Pay attention.